people doing up there? Yeah, is this a party or what? Please welcome the first time to the Cafe Voltaire. All right, I'll get you a beer. Locate your lips.
Listening to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, and you just heard Stethoscope by the 80s Milwaukee power trio Locate Your Lips. And you can get this. They've got a brand new album out, but it's not brand new, but it's newly released. It's a worldwide release of a lost album.
Time.
Yeah, it's called For Kenny, and you got to get this, man. That's part of the live portion. They've got the studio recordings, and then they've got the live recordings, and it is just an awesome album. I wish I was there to be in the room while they were playing that. We're very excited to have guitarist and producer Jim-Eannelli join us to talk about the album, talk about the band, and talk about his career too, because he's done a bunch in his life in regards to music. So everyone, keep up with Locate Your Lips. It's on everywhere. You can find it everywhere. You can find your lips everywhere. But you can keep up with them on Facebook under Locate Your Lips. And it's just fun to go and put Locate Your Lips in search bars because that's, it's fun. So, Jim, welcome. Did you find your lips?
I did. I found them a long time ago.
Where does the name Locate Your Lips come from? Who came up with that?
I think Kenny and Andy somehow conspired to come up with that name. And, the more I think about it, I never knew why they came up with it. And at first I thought, I can't be in a band with this name. It's just a little too weird, But I think it's something about, finding your voice, So
Yeah.
maybe it has a deeper meaning, you know.
Hey, you never know, man. This is so the trio's late drummer Kenny Baldwin, who the album is for Kenny,
Yes.
and bassist Andy Cavaluzzi. Am I saying that name right? Because that's a good name.
It depends whether you're in Rome or the Bronx. I guess it could be Cavaluzzi. I think Cavaluzzi. Sure, either way.
Cavaluzzi.
Yeah, Cavaluzzi. That's right. That's right.
But you guys, as a trio, I mean, it is powerful. It is incredible when you listen, because it's simplicity, but there's a lot going on, and you listen to the drums, and then here comes your guitar and the bass. I mean, it is like rolling thunder, man. I mean, that must have been electric, being in the room with you guys performing.
I can still feel the hair on the back of my neck standing up when I used to play with these guys. I mean, it was just a horse out of the gate, full gallop, and don't look back. It was, you know, they say the brightest stars burn the stars burn the brightest and the fastest and the shortest, or the brightest ones, or whatever they say. But yeah, that was one of those flash in the pan bands that was just on fire for a short time, and I was glad to be a part of it. What a great ride! Wow.
It takes me back to my childhood in the mid '80s. We lived in England, and I was a little kid, and we just come out of living in Kenya. We got to England, and it was right in the heart of the punk era, and like, you know, everybody's hair was all crazy and piercings, and you know, and I was like, wow, we went from the tribes of Kenya and the bush to this. There's no difference in some ways, but there's this vibe of like the Clash, you know, and that time, you know, there's this knockabout punk energy and music, like you want to kick things in the street and go crazy, but at the same time, to me, there feels like there's a bit of the 60s and 70s in there too. It's a little bit of everything in this album.
We had a lot of influences, and the thing to know about this record, this double CD, is that Kenny Baldwin, the drummer, he used to run a punk rock club in the early 80s, like 1980 to 1983. And he was a black man in Milwaukee. He took over his father's discotheque, because disco was really popular in the late 70s. This was downtown Milwaukee, across the street from a luxury hotel. So his father says, I don't want the business anymore. He turns it into a punk rock club. These punk bands start coming in from New York City, and it was game on. And we were like, wow, this music has so much energy and passion and anger. So we wanted, you know, we took our 60s influences and kind of mixed them with that. And Kenny was a trained jazz drummer, and then he found punk, and he just fell in love. So it was just crazy.
Yeah, because he's got, like, I feel like he's there's a drummer in San Diego we used to play with, Willie Kellogg. He used to play with the Flying Burrito Brothers and Canned Heat at different stages, and John Lee Hooker.
Canned Heat, yeah.
Man, that's some good stuff, right? And so he had this interesting way of drumming. Like, he would get into all the, you know, the djembe and all these African drums, but at the same time, when he got into a full kit, he had this round way of playing, and Kenny has that. And then Willie was also known as the Shuffle King, and that's kind of, listening to Kenny's drumming, he has this round openness, and then all of a sudden it just pops, like bam, in your face.
Yeah.
You know, just as you feel like, my horse used to be like that. And then you'd fall off. You know,
I used to call Kenny the pie in the face drummer.
Yeah.
You know, on vaudeville, you know, when you least expect it, here comes a pie in the face, and Kenny will just do that in the middle of a song. You're like, whoa, that dude just turned the corner. How did he do that?
Yeah. Cool. And you guys played together, right, before, and with Andy, and then you and Kenny went to L.A. and then said, that's it, I'm going back to Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, we went to L.A. We got signed. We were in a band called Color Radio. It was the English spelling of color, O-U-R. And we got signed to Gold Mountain, which is a subsidiary of A&M. And they flew us out to Hollywood. We got picked up at LAX in a limousine, got delivered to the record plant where there were signed John Lennons on the wall. And Tom Dowd was mixing a Santana record down the hall. And there we were in Hollywood and hanging out with rock stars, playing video games with Rick Springfield, and the next thing you know, we got spit out. The band blew up, and then we were back in Milwaukee where the sun hadn't shone in 52 days. So we're like, what just happened here? So we needed to start a band and get it all out.
Wow. And it is interesting because it's that machine, the music machine of LA and everywhere, that big corporate thing. It's like, oh wow, dazzle, then there you go, pie in your face again. It's like here.
Well, the funny thing about LA, we pulled up to a street light, and I remember thinking, wow, I'm in Hollywood, California, and all of a sudden a bum comes up to the car, and with his hand outstretched, he needs some money from us, right? And I'm looking at this bum. I got $15 in my pocket, and he's wearing a $400 shiny Armani suit.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, welcome to Hollywood. It was weird.
Yeah, it is. It
is weird.
What's going on in Milwaukee in general? Because I don't know if it's just being connected with Gary at Daystorm Music, and just it seems like Sam-Eannelli, we've had him on the show. Peggy James, I know you produced her album Nothing in Between, which we love playing her music, and David Fitzpatrick. We've had these folks on the shows, and I'm like, what is going on in Milwaukee? I feel like it's you always hear about Nashville and Austin, LA, but I feel like there's something going on over there.
It's a long, torrid story, but a friend of mine told me a long time ago, I was producing a record by a band called The Shivers, who was another flash in the pan, almost made it, and the engineer-producer, Sam Lynn from Chicago, looked at me and said, don't worry, nothing ever gets out of Milwaukee. Don't worry about your career. But, there's always been a lot of stuff going on. Incidentally, I played guitar with Sam-Eannelli. We did a CD together years ago. A record called A Good Day to Die, which Gary Tannen actually engineered and produced. So Gary's been involved for many years with many different bands, going back to the 60s. He's a fixture in Milwaukee. A lot going on here. Violent Femmes, Bodines.
Really? The Violent
Willie
Femmes,
Porter.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Gordon and I think Gordon was from the East Coast, but Victor and Brian were from here, and I used to hang out with those guys, and everybody knew everybody. Some made it out alive, others just worked their day jobs.
Man, it just seems that it's just really good music, From what I've heard, it's like, wow, I want to go up just to go and play, I want to go hear the music live. That's the thing, But now this album, even the studio recordings sound to me like they're really live. So because you've got two sides, you've got CD 1 and 2. You've got one that's all live, and then the studio though it really was that recorded live because it sounds live.
Well, back then there were no computer-based recording systems, and everything was. It was kind of like vaudeville, and I'm glad I lived during those days because in vaudeville, when the curtain went up, you did your show from start to finish without a mistake, and there was no second chance. And and that's the way we recorded. We recorded bass, drums, and guitar live in the room, and incidentally, it was done in a garage. The studio record was an actual garage, so we could call ourselves a garage band, but it was a professional recording studio built in a guy's garage. And we just overdubbed the vocals afterwards and maybe a lead guitar and maybe some other little things. But pretty much the three of us played together. There was no cut and paste on a computer screen. We were just slamming it out.
Yeah, there's something so beautiful to that. That less is more thing where you just do it straight from the heart. That energy that comes with it. And that's what I always think, when you have like a trio, a smaller band, it just there's something you just can't get. It's a little different, and there is that extra energy, I think, when you're a smaller band.
I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree. Every time I've ever added a guitar player to a band, then it just gets diluted and watered down a little bit. When you just have bass, drums, and guitar, everybody has to maintain their corner and keep it edgy and sharp, and it's a wonderful lineup. I love it.
Now, the live recordings, that was done at a radio station?
No, that was done in a little punk rock club called the Café Voltaire.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
It was sponsored by an FM radio station who played album-oriented rock, and they had a mobile recording studio in an old Chevy van. They just pulled it up to the back door and ran the wires in and the microphones, and and did the feed live on the air.
I love
So
that.
Yeah, it was total old school. Wires that we were tripping over wires, nowhere to stand, and the guy says you got 30 seconds, and then you say, okay, here we go. Very cool.
I love that. And then the songs on the album, you got 22 songs. How you wrote these? I mean, it was pretty fast when you put this together.
Yeah, Kenny and Andy had a duo. Originally, Locate Your Lips, LYL, was a duo. And when Kenny and I got back from Hollywood, I talked to him and Andy. I said, let's fire this thing up again because, nobody else wants to talk to me. My phone's not ringing. I just came back from Hollywood. I'm lonely. So let's start this band up. And we need a lot of songs because we wanted to get out there in a hurry because if we weren't out there, we were just going to die, perish. And so we went in Andy's basement, and we were writing like a couple of songs in an hour. Okay, that's good enough. You got words for that one? Yeah, okay, I like this riff. Bam, 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 bam. And the next thing you know, we're playing out and just slamming it. So it was a good time.
Okay, so I really want to play this because it's fun. Take off your clothes. I said that before we went live with you. I was like, sit back, relax, and take off your clothes.
Okay, but then I have a question for you. If you're going to play that song, is there a relationship between the historic Coronado Motor Hotel and that sock monkey you mentioned?
Well, okay, so she's our sock monkey.
I'm just kidding.
There is. She likes to hang out here. She's our little monkey. We take her everywhere we go on our tour. But she has her own room, and she loves the hotel here, and she swings on the palm trees. She tried to get into the bougainvillea flower and got a little, thorned.
Yes.
But she did start off naked. So there's a relationship between her fashion style and Take Off Your Clothes because she started naked. Then people in Silver City, New Mexico grabbed her and put a dress on her because they were like, you can't take a naked monkey and use that as your photo thing because we won't go and do photos. We're not into that. But that is our little Instagram queen. And now she has a dress. She has a little hat. She has shoes. She's been totally blinged. She's got blinged lips. And we don't want her to take off her clothes because she looks like a pink nude monkey. And
send me the pictures, will you?
I will. Don't even start. And she's a lush, and that's why she has to have her own room.
She's a lush and a slut.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now you're not supposed to tell everybody that, but
Okay.
take off your clothes. Who wrote this?
Well, we were just jamming
the
on
last
a riff
song of the night before everybody grabs their partner.
It was the typical let's just jam this riff, and Andy just started mumbling these lyrics, and we just happened to be in the company of the saxophone player from the Stooges, Steve McKay. And
wow.
Yeah, from the Stooges. He just happened to be hanging out. I said, Steve, come on in here with your saxophone. And this is totally impromptu live.
Well, if you played this to Iggy, he would take off his clothes.
I'm sure he would.
He would.
I'm sure he would.
He would. Okay, so here it is, everyone. Take off your clothes. It's Friday.
All right.
Take off your clothes. Take off your clothes. Take off your clothes. I know. I know. I know. I know. Take off your clothes. Take off your clothes. Take off your clothes. Take off your clothes. I know.
Take off your clothes by Locate Your Lips. Or it could be take off your clothes and locate your lips. Whatever way you want to say it. But I had to play that. I love that. Because I think that you guys, Jim-Eannelli sitting in with us here, guitarist, producer. Jim, you guys could have covered Whip It and put the songs together, one after the other. Take off your clothes and then covered Whip It. Don't you think?
Right.
It would have been a good companion piece.
You should have been our manager back then. We could have. We needed more vision, Lisa.
Well, take off your clothes. I love that because again, it shows the diversity of sound that you guys had, and to me, that brings in a lot of jazz in there.
It certainly does, and we're listening to people are listening to all kinds of stuff back then. Mahavishnu Orchestra, Captain Beefheart. Mm-hmm. So we're just, if you had an instrument in your hand and you just wanted to create a little sonic cacophony, and you just kind of freaked out. It was awesome.
So, have you ever played that live and have somebody take off their clothes in the audience?
Actually, a few people got pretty close to all the way during that.
See, that to me, it's kind of 60s.
Yeah.
It's like.
But the whole album makes you want to do that. You want to take your clothes off and run down the street,
jump in a mud pile or something.
Yeah, it's cool. It makes you you feel alive. It's good. Finding this on tape. Now, what kind of tape are we talking about, and how do you, get this out, re-releases? How do you do that, technical side of it to make it happen that we can listen to it? Because you would think something in a basement, tapes in a basement, that you try to play them or reproduce that, it's going to come out wonky, but it didn't.
Well, sometimes on some of these old tapes, you only have one pass because the film separates from the something or other. And so I gave the tapes to Gary Tannen. He's got a company called Daystorm Music in Milwaukee, and he's been around forever manipulating sound for people. And he loaded them into his computer rig into 24-bit sonic heaven, and he mastered them. In other words, you sweeten them, you compress them, you re-EQ them, you make them sound good, you take out clicks and pops, and you polish them. So that's what he did. And so without him, it probably wouldn't have happened. It just turns out that he's an old friend, which made it even better because the whole album was done as a remembrance to the drummer Kenny Baldwin. So it was a nice thing.
And you guys had a listening party in January, right? Like a big release party.
We did at Schenck Hall in Milwaukee, and we just put it out there on Facebook. Gary started a Facebook page, and we had a lot of old friends come. And Kenny's brother showed up and told some stories, and I told some stories. And actually, the bass player, Andy, showed up. I hadn't seen him in 34 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he just showed up. How you doing, Andy? After 34 years, here's your double CD. Remember this?
I love this. And so this is out on your label, Happy-Growl-Records. I remember talking about that with Peggy. It's like one of the best label names ever, Happy Growl, because that's about what music is, man. It
is a happy growl. That's right. Yeah, and you can get it on CD Baby. Here's my little commercial. You can get it on CD Baby, and I've got it on eBay right now too. Not in record stores, but on CD Baby and eBay right now. You can pick it up.
Okay, awesome. Because are you gonna have it digitally where people can stream it?
I think so. I think eBay does, or CD Baby, I think does something like that. Gary's handling that. I'm really not. I'm kind of old school in the way I approach music. Mm-hmm. My brain can't wrap myself around too much of this modern tech. I have to just stay in the old school, and I do my best work in the old realm.
So, do you play live now in Milwaukee area?
I do. I play with a folk hero dude. His name is Little Rev, R-E-V, and they call him the Ukulele King, and he travels all over the country, and he teaches ukulele, and he plays. He's probably got 8 or 10 CDs out right now. So I do a duo with him, and occasionally a little trio, and we just have a great time. He's a wonderful dude.
And ukulele is really, you know, it kind of like I think about Jeff Lynne and Tom Petty and then Eddie Vedder.
Well, don't leave out Tiny Tim.
No, but I mean, it kind of had this explosion over the last 10 years. The ukulele.
Oh, ukulele is just on fire, and I figured out a long time ago that after hauling vans full of huge speaker cabinets, that why didn't I start playing ukulele? So I could have just showed up with my little ukulele, and that's all I'd have to bring.
Well, I was thinking that too. That's when we travel. You know, we travel very light, and it's a RAV4, Toyota RAV4, and we get a suitcase each. And when we first started our tour, you know, it was the first level of getting rid of everything you own, and it was like, okay, all the instruments went. And we're like, oh, man, we could take a little thing on the road. And then it was like, well, if I get one, then Nancy gets one, then it starts all over again because, you know, we'll argue over it. That's going to happen.
You know the old saying, you travel right when you travel light.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I, you know, the speakers and all of that, how does it feel now, like, you know, when you think about, you know, in the mid-'80s to now, when you talk about, you know, being old school, what's it like now, even when it goes to, you know, I was watching a band the other night, and they had, I mean, you couldn't even see the singer's face because they were reading off of a screen, and I was like, you know, right up, you know, like a little tablet. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. And we were talking about it and then ended up having a conversation. They're like, well, that's how we have to, you know, read our lines and everything. I said, well, why don't you just learn your lyrics? And then walk out and got in trouble because it just, you know, it seems
so tactful.
It's so different now, and I understand getting your set list and having on tablets and stuff, but there's this level of, I don't know, I want it old school. I want it to be raw and real.
You know, I remember when I was 12 years old, my dad, who was a pilot, took me up into a single-engine Cessna on a windy day.
Whoa!
And that plane is just bouncing around. He goes, you take it. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So I've got 2 pedals, a rudder, a stick, a wheel. Now, I can only imagine how the pilot of that 737 MAX Boeing felt when this computer was nosing that plane down and he didn't know what to do. So you get, you know, technology is, I'm sorry, but it's just going to doom us all, and people forget how to do things on their own. And, you know, the future is pretty scary. You're all going to be staring at screens, and, you know, little spoons will come out and feed us because we won't even be able to hold a fork anymore, you know.
Yeah, you just push a button and a spoon goes down your throat.
Oh no, we're gonna you know, babies are gonna be born with chips inside them. You know.
Well,
to me, it's passion.
You know,
heart and soul, passion, heart and soul, and if you can keep that somehow, you got it. You got something.
What happens in regards to producing? You know, I mean, we've got to think about, you know, the day that Dylan went electric, right? So we can't knock progression because that was cool. But when you look at producing, that's got to have changed too, or not, when you produce an album.
Oh, sure. You know, I was trying to learn Pro Tools. My friend Guy was teaching me, you know, the new digital stuff, and I was freaking out. And he's saying, Jim, it's the same thing you've always done. It's just a different way of doing it. So, and that, you know, that applies to a lot of this modern stuff. And I get it. But what it does to me is it inhibits my workflow because I just don't like a mouse in my right hand and my eyeballs glued to a screen. That's just not the way I feel music. I'm in some other realm when I'm playing or feeling music or taking it in. It's just a different kind of thing.
There's no vibrations. There's no vibrations. When you're in a room with a musician, there's vibrations. You can feel it, you know.
I can feel it.
But when you're at a computer, you don't really feel anything. It's
right.
like you're not really there.
I mean, I don't even, like, back in the day when we did music, as a singer, I'd take my shoes off And I wasn't just trying to copy Janis Joplin. I mean, literally felt like connected to the earth. And I grew up in the bush, so it's like, that's kind of where I'm at.
Are you barefoot right now?
I'm barefoot right now, and so are you. See, that's why we do radio, because we're barefoot all the time.
I totally understand. And, you talk about take off your clothes. I mean, have you ever done Tai Chi in the nude? That's the best way to do it.
Oh, wow. I could get a black eye, but I'll try. It could be interesting. Yeah. We'll go, that's what we'll do here at the Historic Coronado Motor Hotel. We'll go to the pool area.
Yeah,
we'll take Priscilla's clothes off and, have her swinging in the palm tree. And then Nancy and I will do nude Tai Chi. It sounds perfect for a Friday.
Perfect.
How to get kicked out of a hotel.
I know. I know. So there's a song on here that I really, really want to play. And I want to play them all, but apparently, but I Can't Take Another Taste of This. Tell us about this song.
That's a good one. I'm having a memory blank on it. Either has to do with some illicit substance, or it could have to do with the lifestyle of a romantic partner.
Oh. Well, let's play it.
Or it could be your mother's cooking.
Yeah. Well, I was like, it's you don't want any more purple berries.
Exactly.
Take them away. But I was wondering if it was from when you guys came back from L.A. Like, I'm done with L.A. Like. Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's kind of where I was wondering.
Yeah, that would make sense too. Sure.
Well, let's play it. I'm dying to play this. Here it is, everyone. I Can't Take Another Taste of This, and it's live. And there's no purple berries yet. this again by Locate Your Lips, and it's on the album that's out now for Kenny, and get it on CD Baby, and also keep up with Locate Your Lips on Facebook. And we've got Jim-Eannelli here on Big Blend Radio with us. Jim, I think we should start playing that song on our cooking shows.
Is your cooking that good?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we travel, so we don't cook. But I'll play that for every chef. I love that so much because it shows the musicianship and how tight you guys were. You guys are so tight and like
awesome.
And just the bass, Andy's bass playing, the guitar, the drums. It's
surf music.
Yeah, it is it's surf music.
Mm-hmm.
But who's singing in there?
Andy is singing all the lead vocals. I am the high lonesome third vocal behind.
Wow. Now Andy sounds British.
He's not. I think he's from New Jersey originally. I think he's a Jersey boy. Yeah.
See?
Wow.
Yeah, because he's got an accent in there in the way, and again, that takes me back to England, but at the same time, I think that song should be in movies. I could see it in like the Breakfast Club for some reason. It belongs in the Breakfast Club.
It just reminds me of Venice Beach.
They need to remake the movie just for, your song.
Just for his accent alone.
Venice Beach.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. But it belongs in a movie. It really does. I see people writing downstairs.
Okay, I hope all you movie producers out there are listening, and I'll give you an address where you can send the royalty checks to.
There you go. See, that's exactly it. It's in Milwaukee, and they have beer and cheese.
Beer and cheese.
And water. Okay, so it's time to play Spontaneous, the song game. Are you ready, Jim? We're going to have fun.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so
Spontaneous. Time to be embarrassed.
No, you're not. It's going to be easy. We're each going to play it. So what it is, it's a board game, but we're not playing. We're going to do the radio version. And I'm going to give you one word, and then you sing up to 5 lyrics, 5 words in the song that it contains that word. So, Nancy, I'm going to give you this as an example. This isn't your word of the day because we have more. But if I say to you, what your word is red.
You know I'm going to go red wine.
It makes you feel fine. Yeah, see?
Red wine makes you feel so fine.
See, there we go. And you do not need to be a singer to play this, everyone.
Well, thank you.
So we're going to play this. You got 10 seconds to get your words and your lyrics out there. And if you don't do it in the 10 seconds, then we get to play butt pan, and I love butt pan. It's my favorite Friday thing, especially once you take your clothes off and play butt pan. So, Jim, are you ready to go?
I guess I have no choice.
Okay. I think I was going to give you naked as the word at this point, but I won't. Your word, and I'm going to get my little TikTok thing here going. Your word is smile.
Smile? Oh, Lord. I don't have a song with smile in it. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Now what's going to happen?
Now get prepared for the butt pan.
And now, a butt pan moment. Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! You're a butt pan!
You're really not, Jim. I just want you to know. I just like to play that, but you're not a butt pan. That's for slow drivers. But
I could have done the word red pretty well. Smile, I just didn't have a clue.
See, that smile. Now I had it, and the whole world smiled with you or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's that, and let a smile be your umbrella.
Okay. So Jim, give Nancy a word.
Uh-oh.
Give Nancy a word.
Uh-oh. Get Priscilla the sock monkey out here.
Every day.
Oh.
The word is every day.
Every day. Oh, come on, that's got to be easy. Every day, I just don't want to know the taste of it.
No. And no. Every day is a winding road.
Is it every day or every way?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, the butt pan. You're ready?
Today.
You get to be
Yes.
butt pan, double butt pan.
And now, a butt pan moment.
Double
Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! Butt pan! You're a butt pan!
There is nothing like butt panning your mother. That is not the right thing to do. That is not the right thing to do.
Sounds so wrong.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Nancy,
Shame on you.
I would like a word.
Shame.
Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame on you. That's a song?
I
You
don't
guys
know
remember
about that.
That sounds pretty weird.
Shame, shame, shame on you. Yes, it is a song.
Yes.
See? Yep. That's it. Shame, shame, shame on you.
By who?
Shirley and Company. Shame, shame, shame. Hey, shame on you.
You can't dance too or something
Yeah, if
like
you
that.
can't dance too. I said
that's
shame,
it,
shame.
yeah.
I win something. Okay. I win no more butt pants. That's what we win. Jim, it has been so cool having you on the show, and we are so happy to find your music. And you know, thanks, Gary and Billy out there, for keeping us informed of good stuff. I mean, really, we're going to be playing this a lot because it's good stuff. I wanted to close with a song, Cosmopolite, because it's cool. Is that an
cool.
LA style? Yeah.
I think
Do you
so.
know the backstory on that? Yeah. I think we got to play
Are you
it.
playing Are you playing the studio cut or the live cut?
I have the studio cut. Did you want the live cut instead?
No, the studio cut is cool because we flipped these huge tapes upside down on the recording machine, and I played the guitar solo, and then we flipped the tapes back over. So when you hear the guitar solo, it's actually going backwards on the tape.
See, that's my style right there.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, this is going to be cool. That's kind of like
That's interesting.
that's like Beatles. You know, when you could play
George
the album
Martin,
backwards.
Yeah, all those. Yep. Somebody invented it. Maybe Gary Tannen invented it. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I like this. So we're going to play Cosmopolite because that's my new word of the day.
Thank
It's
you.
like dynamite, you know.
Dynamite.
All right. I know.
Kid Dynamite.
Kid Dynamite. All right, here it is, Cosmopolite. Again, the album is For Kenny by Locate Your Lips. Get it on CD, baby. And also keep up with Jim and Locate Your Lips. Go to Facebook. You'll find that. Just type in Locate Your Lips, and then you'll locate them. Thanks so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. It's been a total honor to be with you. And when I'm in Yuma, I'm taking you both out to dinner.
Cool. But we might get to Milwaukee first. I'm just going to tell you that.
Give me
if
a
you
call.
come out here, Priscilla, the sock monkey, wants to play. She wants to meet you.
Oh,
so
bring her along. I'd be happy to meet her.
Okay, we'll keep her clothes on here because she's cosmopolite. Here it is, everyone. Take care, Jim.
Glowing, taken by the right side.